Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's TF Live here, and we are here for a special cast. We are casting the AsiaFortress Cup 16 Division 2 Grand Finals between Justice4Kratus and Nick Gear's Killers. I'm Fozzlm. Joined with me tonight is Beta, and we've got Wiethoofd on production. Beta, how's it going, man?
Well, it's doing good. Always good to have another midday cast. I'm always excited to see some AsiaFortress. I don't really know a whole lot about it, especially not Div 2. So it's usually when you watch these lower leagues, it's kind of a question of watching the stars of tomorrow, so to speak. So I get to watch the stars of tomorrow in Asia. It's way out of my ballpark, but I'm into it.
Yeah, exactly. And despite my close proximity, I must admit my knowledge of the AsiaFortress scene is fairly lacking. Aside from the teams that the teams and the players that decide to join up over in AsiaFortress. And to kick things off, I'm sorry for saying an evening cast when I have two Europeans working with me tonight is an incredibly biased thing to say. But given the region that we're dealing with, I thought I'd keep it local to them. You know.
Yeah, that works. That works for me for sure. All right. Do you want to go through the teams and the rosters here? I know there's a bunch of shuffles going on with some players apparently not being able to show up and kind of getting in subs and whatnot. But you know, we can do our best here. Just going down. Do you want to give one of the teams a shot?
Yeah, I guess I'll go over Justice4Kratus first. I believe are in blue at the moment, so we have Aim and Ryan on scouts, Smiley and Hong, my apologies, on soldiers. I'm not sure which is Parker and which is Roamer at the moment. We have Megu on Demoman and SWW on Medic.
Yeah, note the scouts both have 5 ping. That seems like a waste of ping advantage, but oh well. It's, whatever floats your boat. And then currently we have 7 players on the Killers team. So I'm gonna try and go down it, but you know, so some changes pending here. We have Yeren and Hero on Scout, or no, sorry, on Soldier. One is Pocket, one is Roamer. I don't know which was which, but we will find out. And then we have Mellow on Medic. We got Fishy and Bio on Scout, and then we have Ban and Space. Either one of them could be Demo Man. I'm gonna guess Space is gonna be the Demo Man and Ban's gonna leave, but I don't know quite yet. The only person I've ever heard of on this team is Fishy. He's actually on my friend list. And I think, actually no, that is pretty much the only person I've heard of. Maybe I've heard of Smiley, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of Smileys around, there's a lot of Bios around, and I think there's a bunch of Heroes around as well. As the server now shuts down. Alright, this is going great.
Well, yep, I guess that's Grand Final over. Thank you all for joining us. It's really fun casting with you, Beta. It's always a pleasure. And we'll see you guys on the our next cast. See you guys soon.
Just kidding. All right, let's talk a bit about the maps here. So there's actually a nice little pick ban sequence that we can actually just look out here. So Justice4Kratus, they started out by banning Process, then the Killers banned Gollywash, and the Killers then picked Granary, which will be the first map, and then Justice4Kratus picked Snakewater, and they also picked Reckoner. So what's your thought on this map pool here?
I quite like it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Granary. I've actively been against it for about as long as I've been playing too, but in saying that, it's a map I haven't actually seen played in quite a few seasons, at least coming from the Australian scene. So in that sense, it's a fun bit of nostalgia. Kind of seeing it played. Obviously, it's kind of known for being the one map where soldiers can kind of take roam. It is very not friendly towards scouts, which, you know, given their current control over the metagame, it's nice to see a bit of a diversion from that. The Snakewater in general, Snakewater is just one of those maps where I don't think anyone really dislikes it. It's just become such a part of the kind of ethos of comp TF2 that no teams are necessarily particularly fantastic at it, but no teams are terrible at it. You know, you expect a really kind of fair fight, and Reckon is one of those maps where, at least, you know, across all of the scenes, really, it's been kind of in and out and fading kind of from obscurity into regular playtime, back into being disliked, as it's kind of seen a number of transitions into kind of how the maps gone through updates. So Reckoner's a bit of a wild card. It despite the fact that it's been played now for quite a few years, it's still a map where I think a lot of teams might not be really that comfortable with it because, again, it's never been something that's been settled necessarily in terms of developing its own metagame. It's still kind of that kind of in and out map, as it were.
Yeah, it's never been a staple map for sure. It kind of gone in and out of use. Actually, kind of interestingly enough, the map kind of goes from old to new. So Granary obviously been in the game forever. There's been a few changes to it, but overall it's been the same. And then we have Snakewater came in a little bit later, absolute stable map, and then Reckoner is the newest map. So it kind of goes from old to newer to news. And that's pretty cool. And all these maps, they're pretty different in the way they play out, in my opinion. Like Granary's, I kind of find myself defending the map more than criticizing it these days. It's just pretty different from every other map out there. Yeah, it can be kind of flat and has like some choke points and the weird like yard area that's kind of different from a lot of maps, but I kind of like that. Just it makes it different from everything else. So I'm kind of into it. And then Snakewater is this very long map that can be very difficult to push on. Like you can kite Ubers really effectively on Snakewater in general. Like if you have a 20% Uber advantage on Snakewater, you very often can't really push on that just because you get spammed out and you're going to have to use early and the medic can just kind of run back and then they can just Uber back in onto you once they get it. So in general, it's a pretty difficult map to actually push on with small advantages. And then CP Reckoner is the new map, as you talked about. I'm still not 100% sure what version it is. Like I know it's like, was it RC4A, but I can't remember which version that is. Like there's been some drop downs and the toxic area has been reworked a bunch of times. So I'm pretty interested in that. And either way, like last is going to be a very different last point from basically any other map in the map pool. So yeah, it should be pretty fun to see just how these two teams play the different map, because they do play very differently.
Yeah, and I just want to quickly touch on how these teams got here. So as of the regular season, Justice4Kratus actually finished third, and Killers finished second overall in the standings. But in the first round of the playoffs, they initially beat Nick Gears, and one of the maps where they beat them convincingly was they beat them 4-3 on Snakewater and then 4-3 on Reckoner, which kind of goes some ways to explaining those maps, and they lost quite convincingly to Nick Gears 5-2 to Process, which again, even though Process is probably the comp TF2 map, if you think about it, at least has been for maybe the last 3 or 4 years, losing to them that definitively in that first final match they played kind of makes a lot of sense. But after they progressed over Killers, they then beat the number 1 seed in Holy Moly to take this kind of a advantage in the grand final. So Nick Gears, they lost initially to Justice, then beat Superflat, and then beat Holy Moly. So I guess it's just again coming from this as an outsider looking in, the fact that both of these teams actually managed to knock off the number 1 seed coming into the finals here. I mean, that already creates a lot of intrigue, especially if you look at certain regions of TF2 that we might not name, where you kind of just see the number 1 seed roll the season and then roll the finals. It's nice to see a bit of intrigue now and again.
Yeah, agreed. It's always fun. And it's kind of curious. It always seems to me like the further down you go, the more kind of volatile it becomes, and the number 1 team can kind of drop out to a lower ranked team. Like this happened in ETF this season as well in Div 1, where the top seeded team actually lost out. And yeah, it's pretty fun. And I really like the fact that both of these teams actually beat them. So they must have deserved it. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I have any idea who's going to win this, but I like being in the dark as far as that concerns. Because very often you just bring in your own preconceptions and notions about who's going to win, and you just kind of have this very good idea of what's going to happen. And I don't know, most of the time it's actually more fun to just not know what exactly you can expect. I'm thinking that.
Yeah, I'm pretty much exactly on the same page as you. Coming into this only, glancing and taking a few notes from the AsiaFortress standings and the matches that came this season. That's really all either of us have got to go off of. Like I said, like Fushy's the only player I know as well on either of these teams. So yeah, you don't have these preconceived notions of who's a super strong DM player, which team has a better combo, which team might have better cohesion because they've been playing for seasons together. We're really coming into this quite fresh, and I'm apologies to the viewers for this because I know we've already got a pretty sizable crowd here, and we're sorry in advance if we can't necessarily talk in depth about any of these players and what their strengths are and what they might bring to the table here. But on the same side, I hope you can appreciate in a way that we're kind of coming to this fresh. We're giving you pure, unadulterated. I guess, this is a first impressions. And what better time to have first impressions than a grand final?
Like, it's actually kind of cool, right? Because very often you know who the best players are, so you're just automatically watching them because you just know, oh, like this guy, he's going to be a beast, so you just watch him and you just kind of give him the benefit of the doubt very often. Whereas when you don't know, you're just saying it, calling it as you see it, basically. And if someone does something stupid, you don't know if that's how they are or if it's like uncharacteristic. So you kind of get a different perspective from watching them when you don't know what to expect from them, which is usually really fun. And like very often, I really love watching someone. It's basically like when people do reaction videos for, like when they try to eat different cultures' food or something, right? Where they just have really weird opinions on something you thought was very normal. Whereas they're just like, wait, this is weird. And I think we're in for that kind of experience today where, we're just going to call a bunch of things and they're going to go like, what are you guys talking about? I've never even thought about that with this player. He's known for doing this, and you guys are calling him that instead.
Yeah. So. And if that is to be believed, Fushy likely isn't even playing at all. So that crosses off our only reference point here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Chad is also saying that one of the team has died, but we ignore that noise. We're not giving up hope here. But we're gonna assume you don't forfeit a grand final.
No.
Pending the disastrous, you're out here to play. TF2.
You get the water
there's
boy
glory.
you need to, man.
Exactly.
Like this would be the perfect time to get in the water boy and make a Cinderella story happen. Come on. Like 100% you do that. And like for some reason it seems like these teams have a lot of people on the roster and they are able to actually field people. So I believe this is going to happen, people. We're not leaving until they play for our pleasure.
And
no way.
And if we can't get this game, we will find a pug to spectate and cast, because I mean we've promised you a cast tonight. If we, it might deviate from the high standards and prestige of a grand final into, something a bit more casual, bit more laid back. But I've hyped myself up for some TF2. I want to talk into a microphone and look at air shots being hit, and I'm not giving up that opportunity, Peter, and I'm sure you won't either.
Oh, absolutely not, dude. Like grand finals are where history is made. It's always where the most epic plays just get even more amplified. But looks like we're actually going live. Never mind. Just kidding. Someone dropped from the server as they were readying up. This is classic stuff right here. But yeah, as I was saying, like grand finals is where you can hit a normal air shot, but if you're like hitting it in a grand final and it's like super clutch for you to win the round, that just amplifies it like 50-fold almost, right? Like the hard blue kills two people with and caps the point. Like that's not that impressive play just objectively, but when you add it into its context, it becomes absolutely legendary. And that kind of applies no matter what kind of league you're in, where the grand final is where big plays happen and you'll just remember it forever. Because, dude, just imagine that you're in this grand final, you're getting started in TF2, you're getting casted for probably the first time in your life, and now you get the chance to just make the biggest of plays, and that can just kind of live on forever, dude. Like, people will remember this stuff.
God, Peter. I haven't casted a grand final in in a little while, and you have hyped me up beyond belief. You have a beautiful way of words, and if that doesn't get people in the mood to watch some fragging, to watch some combat, to watch some high points, to watch some low points, then I don't know what will, because if you can hype up me with my lack of energy and enthusiasm most days, then I mean, if you're not hyped up by that, you must be dead inside. And if you're dead inside, I mean, keep watching, because, you know, something might pique your interest eventually.
Yeah, it'll thaw up your cold, frozen heart with the wonder of TF2. It'll happen, people. We believe.
And by golly gosh, I hope we get TF2 soon, because there is only so much pre-game I can watch before you get to this point where your eyes kind of glaze over and you just see these people waddling around, and it feels like you're in purgatory, because you know that you're not one way or the other. You know you're not at a forfeit, but you know you're not at a game, and it's eternal
I think
entrapment.
I think Ben is just dropping over and over and over again. So hopefully he can actually get the mid before he drops out. You know, I want him to contribute, but okay, people, we're actually live here. As we have the Nick Gears versus Justice4Kratus, and this is the Div 2 finals of AsiaFortress, and I can't wait. We've waited a long time, but the wait is over, dude. Foz, what do you see on this mid?
So I followed Space on their rollout. They were a bit slow, but managed to go up through Catwalk, and Megu was not that fast themselves, so really not at any risk here. We see an initial bomb coming out from the soldiers of the red side here, but they're not actually able to get that much space for their team, and we get a nice counter bomb coming in from Hong. Takes down Ban, and that allows the scouts to make up a lot of space and get these frags, and we see the combo trapped in Def Corner. Space goes down, and just a medic and their scout. Mello goes down. Bio is going to do what he can. He gets down Never, but a really nice follow-up from Megu cleans them up, and they're already on their way to second, as midpoint has barely been half captured. So that was a really stagnant first mid fight from the side of Killers, and Justice4Kratus really pounced on that.
Yeah, it took a while for anyone to actually do an engage, but some pretty good soldier aggression opened it up there beautifully. And then Hero actually managed to take down the enemy medic there, so SVV is actually, he's gonna spawn first, and I don't think he's on Crits Creek. I might be wrong. He is on Crits Creek. Alright, wonderful. It's so rare these days to actually see people use this. So Mego, he's gonna come in here with this Crits Creek. He doesn't see anyone. Oh, they popped it anyway. This is kind of premature, but come on, it's still not too late. He gets the soldier maybe? Nope. Oh,
no.
He still hasn't hit anyone. Oh, get the soldier.
Okay, I mean, and they've called the combat here. No, Megu overextends. Yeah, that was interesting, but in saying that, it's let his team completely come out on this left-hand side. We do see the defensive move come out, as we see the scout, but he's not able to clean Bands, only able to get Ryan at the tail end of that. So despite a really nice pop there to block the point, I mean, they get position on second here, and actually, no, they will probably get it quite cleanly. I was quite hesitant about how efficient that Uber was, but I mean, it did what I had to do, but they have to watch out, because they're now facing another Crits Krieg at about 5-10 seconds. SWW will have their crits, and they're starting to rotate through Garage side here, leading on their demo man, but we have seen the other team wisely back out, and it's going to be tough for them catching one. And yes, Mello's up on 90% now as the crits has popped, but no stickies finding their way, and they get all the way back to spawn. They managed to get space, which was a great frag, but SWW goes down along with Smiley. Never's trying to clean up some frags as well, but he gets pressured out from the damage, and so that's another failed Crits Krieg there.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to actually make it work when the enemy team knows that they actually did manage to walk their way through a sticky trap, but yeah, this I think they were trying to get onto Mello there. It didn't really work out. Probably a bit too overeager there. We've got Never. He's hiding up top. He needs to see if he can make his way in here. Oh no, he's going to run into a soldier there, so no back cap happening this day. And that's going to be another clean retake here, and this time around they did kill the medic. When that Crits Krieg happened, the soldier just jumped into his face and took him down. The full advantage here going into this mid-fight, well, not a mid-fight as such, but into this middle area, and they need to just do their best to not get their medic force so they can be able to use it into second.
Yeah, and they're doing, I mean, I was saying they're doing a decent job of getting space, but I mean they're doing a fantastic job of getting space here. The other team pressured all the way back. Smiley taking a lot of damage there, but is able to jump out into their second point as we see Bam continuing to pressure on the point here, and that's enough for his team to kind of latch behind him. Melo's taking a lot of damage, and we will see Ubers traded out here. We're seeing a lot of flashing coming out from the side of Killers, which really kind of leaves them in an unfavorable position. Never, though, does overextend, and Brian gets caught out as well as Ban is absolutely cleaning up right now. Hero will trade his life, but get SWW, so it's a fantastic play from them to clean it up in the end, but Mega goes down. Ban cannot be stopped right now. He is getting frag after frag, and we are seeing Killers absolutely steamroll here off the back of their scouts, and there we go. That is the first round of the AsiaFortress Cup Division 2 Grand Final.
Yeah, they kind of, I don't know, baited them out of the door, and then they just did a really good job of actually spamming them down. I thought they were in a lot of trouble just because they had that soldier in the forward spawn kind of behind them, but as soon as they actually managed to walk out through the door, it just turned around for them completely, and then Ban just went on, like, I think got like a 4K or something to just clean everything up. Really good job there. So we're on the second mid fight right now, and let's see if it's a bit faster than last time.
Yeah, we see Hong kind of staying on their left side. They will pick up Yearn. Ban gets taken out immediately from Mega as well, so this is a fantastic response from the side of Justice as Hero goes down. They will pressure out Space, who just managed to slip out of that choke point, but we are going to see Mega fire off some of those long-range stickies, and they trapped him out in yard here. Yes, they have disconnected the space from their combo, so that's a really late death there, and with the demo down, especially on Granny, where locking down these shutters is so important, this is a fantastic opportunity for Justice4Kratus to just steamroll their way into last, which is what they're doing. Smiley going in with a very aggressive bomb, unable to clean up frags, and Hong goes down as well, so there's both soldiers down, and Brian is now having to desperately shepherd SWW out.
Oh, the soldier's shot!
There we go, they do get the force out. That was a really nice, aggressive defense there from Killers, and I mean, I see what Justice4Kratus were doing there, but losing both of their soldiers that early before the rest of the team was able to commit to last there is always such a risky move, especially when you kind of have your medic put out of no man's land, and that allows Melo to be on 100% advantage here, and they should be able to take mid for free.
Yeah, I think they had a bit more advantage than they actually had. And like the Uber was just made it just so it was so much safer for it. So yeah, they're gonna move out right now, take yard pretty easily here. There will be some soldiers that they could potentially be hiding up top, but they're actually checking it. So that's just good play right there, making sure you always check the land. You know, you gotta know the hiding spot. Actually, Soda gets caught out, but actually he's still alive. Maybe he didn't get caught out at all. Okay, no medkit there waiting for him. He did get the Uber Force.
Yeah, and Hero going down as well at the end of that. We see SWW up on 100% Uber themselves, and leading on Never, they just are able to chariot their way back in the midpoint, with Hong providing a nice bit of a rocket spam as well. So I'm really not sure what forced that Uber out of Killers, but we do see Ban up on the sniper, immediately getting Hong and forcing that Uber. Mego goes down as well. So the combined sniper and soldier bomb gets so much, and he is just continuing to hide in forward spawn as Hero is turning so much attention. So not only do they get the picks, they completely waste the time and the attention of Justice4Killers as Ban is continuing just to, you know, hug himself back in spawn there, and just a fantastic kind of heads up play to take that opportunity, knowing you're going to be spawning there to play that pick class, and combining there with the work Yeren did. That was really impressive to completely hold that Uber for it. So now we do see the Ubers going back and forth as Melo has that 30% advantage, and looks like they want to push in quite aggressively for this right-hand side.
Yeah, gets the Uber Force out there. Really great job there from Smiley. He's actually still alive, so he's going to take a bunch of attention as well as getting the Uber Force out here. Now we have this the Uber seesaw, as I like to call it, where one team has the Uber and then they can push in here. I think they're going to be able to block this midpoint. This is great stuff right now.
We do see Hero going in behind, which might be really big. He skips jump on to yard here, and oh my god, Smiley and Hero both hitting amazing shots, and Hero comes out of it on top. That... oh, I'm not sure if Wiethoofd got that on cam, but that was a lovely roaming exchange. But while all that was happening, Justice4Kratus kind of just meandered their way over to second. They thought, you know, we'll let him hit his shots, do his thing, and, you know, we'll play the objective, because capping points wins you games. I feel like that's something that we need to remind people quite often. But you do win the game
still
by
behind.
capping.
By the way, like he's super deep. He's on mid. He's kind of fighting a scout. That's a tough fight. It's very difficult to actually hit anything. But everyone else has just actually retreated so far out here. They've just abandoned yard completely.
Oh, it's finally down. I mean, that was an impressive Roma life. He probably wasn't able to turn the attention that he would have wanted to, but I mean, really impressive. Oh my god, Smiley in with a great bomb to take down banners. We do see these Uber trades coming out. We finally see an even Uber fight. Bio gets taken out by Megu, and we might, yes, we will see Mello being caught out here from Nebo. Smiley finishes up another frag. Hong as well. Everyone is getting into this action. It's just Hero up on top on second, trying to hide off the tide. He will be able to get Smiley, but fantastic pressure from Never will instantly get Justice4Kratus to tie things up. We are 1-1 with 20 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, for the first 5 minutes, it looked to me like it was going to be a real roll, where the killers, they were just way stronger, but we've got a comeback going here. That was a really nice turnaround going on. So now it's going to be 1-1. We have another mid fight, and looks like both demos are basically equally fast. One's top, one bottom, but now we got the soldier bombs.
Yeah, and this is a lot more passive of a mid-fight as we see. Oh my god, Hong completely annihilating Garen there. But it doesn't matter as Ban and Space combined for a trio of threats. They get SWW as well. It's just Hero. Oh, sorry, it's just Ryan desperately trying to do what he can. But after what was a quite passive start, it was just one of those things where it was, I wouldn't even say a snowball. It was more of an avalanche of kills one after another. It was just kind of, you saw a very immediate aggression coming out from Justice4Kratus, which was shut down as kind of as expertly as you're probably going to see, especially on Granary, where, you know, if you go for those aggressive soldier plays, you're normally able to get out anything. And Hong with a really late death here onto second, which, oh, it's not going to help his team. We do see Ryan up on the heavy, and a sentry gun desperately being built, which just gets to level 2, but with this 100% Uber coming in, it's going to be a tough fight. But in saying that, Ban and Hero immediately go down. The sentry gun will eventually be taken out, but it's taken up so much time. Ryan is mowing down players with his Tommy Slav, gets Garen, gets Fire. He's probably going to get Space as well by the look of it. The Fat Man does it again, and I mean, I don't know what went wrong with that Uber. They seem to get picks early, move in aggressively as a combo, but then not know how to shoot a stationary target.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't have the ammo here to deal with the heavy. There's a sniper in spawn. I think he's not gonna risk it. He's one shot away from just dying, so you can get one shot.
Oh
here.
my god, Hero comes in with the spy play to get Smiley. It's not the medic, sorry to cut you off, Peter, but it's always lovely to see the espionage play coming out, especially on a map like Granary.
Yeah, he might just go for the drop step.
Oh,
not quite. Alright, they were onto him there, but we almost got the Assassin's Creed play. There's a sniper in spawn as always, so usually that means
Space with the, was that a blind hit onto the medic? He dropped SWW.
Yeah, I think so. He just looked at where the players were and said, okay, so that means the medic is walking through now, and then he just timed it perfectly there, so that big brain sticky trap.
It's nothing beats just a good old-fashioned sticky trap drop.
Oh.
It's a classic, as we do see Smiley trying to do what he can, but Bio will take him down. And Bio's really impressed me on Scout so far, as he will shepherd his medic onto the point there, as killers are looking very confident here, as it looks like Justice4Kratus, yes, they will have a sniper of themselves, so it's something we've seen quite often, and I guess something that you probably don't, you know, it wasn't uncommon on Granary, as you see that much, but he will be forced to back spawn, as Megu will take down Space. So that is a demo down, which might allow Justice4Kratus to do something here to try to counter this Uber, but as SWW is on 91%, we're just able to kite this out. They will lose Megu in the process. But SWW
the soldier in behind,
has
though.
a Uber.
This flank was amazing. Actually, SWW does go down. Oh my god,
that
man.
was a odd series of events that I didn't...
Oh, the back cap. Scout's not in there.
Oh.
Just blocking second, but second had already been capped. So that's a blunder there from Ryan. That was not the play he needed to make.
That round was a bit of a comedy of errors. It was not the most high skill round we've seen, but I mean, you know, sometimes it's how you got to win. You got to win messy, and that's exactly what Killers have done is we will go out to this next mid fight. It doesn't look like either demo has a massive advantage over the other, both deciding to just go through lower here. So we're not seeing a lot of catwalk plays right now. Both teams being quite hesitant. Bai will be the first casualty as Hong goes for a really aggressive bomb and just manages to survive with his life. Smiley will get taken down, so we don't really have any soldiers in the fray here for the side of Kratos, as he will get taken down in the end there. Bio and Bandits and Ryan fighting as Mello actually getting his first kill of the match on 2 Never with the crossbow as Ryan takes down Heroes. So a bit of a more unconventional mid-fight there. It was quite messy, and it actually messy in the fact that it looks like Justice4Kratus are just going to refight their way in here with this single Uber Scout, but they're not even able to force Mello here. Still nothing. The rest of their team will come in, and we finally see Mello pop that Uber, but they've kind of both soldiers have overcommitted to mid-fight. So I mean, they're turning attention, but actually no, that turning attention worked perfectly. That was a fantastic play in the end.
Yeah, the soldiers kind of worked out here. They're still in a bit of trouble right now from Kratos, but it looks like they will actually be able to shut it down. You know, Grano is pretty notorious for having these 2 pretty small chokes, and the demo man and the soldiers are just shutting it down really aggressively. The scouts are playing it very aggro, being really close to the choke, so they are going to be able to actually ward off any aggression right now. Yeah, it was a very messy mid, and like people were overextending. They were just kind of going in one by one, definitely trying to pick people off, and then as a result, it kind of ended up with both teams losing a lot of players. With, you know, when you have both teams being down a bunch of players, it usually also come on, Hero, you can get up on that lamp. He's been trying so hard, man.
No, he's given up, and yeah, it looks like we're really getting into our first stalemate that we've had all map, which gives us a bit of respite, because we've had a lot of action, a lot of Uber seesawing, a lot of kind of disjointed pushes going on. So it's nice to kind of have a moment to take a few breaths and kind of reflect on what we've seen so far. As it doesn't really look like... Oh no, here we go. We finally see this aggressive bomb coming. You're getting absolutely skyboxed, and that's an easy cleanup kill from Yeren there. So we might see a counter-aggressive play, but really no one from Killers is in a really fantastic position. We will see Hero try to jump out and just immediately eat a sticky trap. So we're back to square one here.
Yeah, pretty standard. You know, one team sends in a sack, and then the counter sack comes in immediately afterwards. So, pretty standard right there. I kind of admire Smiley for going in for the suicide play even after he got piped. He was just still in, and gonna come in again.
We see Smiley again. Yeah, really got one rocket onto Mello, who was able to get a very nice surf up on top of Kratos there, which you know, lovely to see. Oh, there we go. We see Ban up on the spy. I'm loving this off-classing. I mean, TF2 needs more off-classing. I'm just, you know, not permanent off-classing, but it's nice to see this variety as Ban will make their way into lobby here. They've got in completely scot-free, picking up all those ammo packs. Gonna walk through Garage instead of going through Z, so they've opened up his shutter. So if anyone had their ears peeled incredibly adaptly, they might have been able to hear that, but he is waiting up on this health pack area. And we're gonna see what's gonna play, you know,
he's
normally...
not on Cloak and Dagger. He's on the normal regular watch.
Yeah, so in a situation like this, you'd expect to see a lot of soldier spam, demo spam to kind of turn heads to create a lot of noise and distraction, but right now Ban's very content to just chill by the looks of it. He is starting to move on to the point here and will peek out into lobby, but yeah, without the Cloak and Dagger, he kind of has to make that perfect play, otherwise he's just a sitting duck. As
yeah, he's just hiding in a corner right now, desperately hoping that nobody's actually watching him.
Oh,
and look how aggressive SVV is. He's so far forward. I think he spotted it.
Yeah, both scouts just... it looked like Ryan was staring at him for about a solid 5 seconds before he decided to take that shot. It's kind of that moment when you have to do the double take and be like, hang on, do we have a 7th player on our team? Someone just died, but we still have 6 players here. And then, you know, the penny finally drops and you're like, oh no. No, there is a class that can disguise as Smiley once again trades his life. So, it looks like again we're just going to reset, and neither. I mean, you know, we've seen some creative players come out, but it seems like both teams are trying to take it pretty slow. I mean, if they wanted to get really creative, you know, Pyro something can be used, but Hero in with a fantastic skip jump. launches SWW into the air about, you know, as perfectly as you could have wanted. He wasn't able to get any kind of horizontal trajectory with his surf there, but just unable to connect the air shot, which is absolutely heartbreaking.
But it looks like they've had enough. They're actually just going to Uber in here. Single scout going to try and break it up with a Garen with a nice edge onto Smiley. The Smiley KD continues to solve, and this medic gets bounced so heavily. He's dead. He was in way too deep, and someone has even dropped from the server. That's not going to help things. That was maybe.
Yeah, the demo man, which as you're coming to a last push, that is really, you don't want your demo man to be absent from defending the point, as, say absent, he will immediately get countered by Space and Hero onto last, getting completely caught out. Garen will go down, but another really quick and swift pushes Killers up to a 3-0 lead, so after a pretty, you know, slow round there, they're able to quite quickly clean it up as we get into this next mid-fight. Who are you going to follow, Beta?
I'm probably going to look at the soldiers. I think Smiley and Hero are both good soldiers to look at in this mid-fight. They're usually the ones that actually initiate the fight here by doing some sort of big sky jump here. But it looks like it's going to be Hong that's kind of setting himself up. But no soldier have really jumped in. Yaren's going to try and make his way in, but there's a soldier waiting for him. Ryan's going to get piped down, but then the medic is rushed.
Yeah, Never just kind of hiding in that in the garage area and just takes that perfect moment to rush in, but in saying that, immediately their team counters with a swift amount of frags again, and that's SWW going down almost immediately after. Hong will be the last player down in that mid-fight, and that's another quite convincing mid-fight by Justice4Kratus. They really seem to have Killers' numbers. It doesn't really seem like Killers know how they... Sorry, I have the teams mixed up here. But it doesn't really look like Justice4Kratus know how they want to play these mid-fights here. They kind of might send in one soldier or one scout, but they're not really pushing cohesively as a team at any moment, and it's allowing just the raw DM from players like Hero and Ban in particular to through. And oh my god, Garen blows himself up, and Hero does go down. Ban is completely skyboxed and might be able to survive here. He doesn't, so a really nice counterplay. Bio does come in, unable to clean up SWW, who survives on just about 21 HP there. So a few failed sacks there that will allow Kratus to make this repush into mid-fight.
That was a 4-man sack, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting situation. No Ubers were even in play right here. Actually, two soldiers are going to get really hurt. Takes down Smiley immediately, and then Hong, he's not in good health either. Gets an arrow that's going to put
misses the skip jump out and kind of just gets stranded.
Yeah. Some idiot put a lamppost right where he was supposed to jump. God damn, man. I hate to see it.
Send a letter to Valve, get them to fix it. As we do see these two Ubers being traded almost immediately on second, which is on Yard here in second, which is something we really haven't seen. SWW very quick to get out, but Garen isn't behind, gets Megu. Ban cleans up on Never, which allows Hero to come in and just put down a ton of damage. We will see a bit of resistance come out from Hong, but it's not enough. So a really nice flank there from Yeren to kind of set up that second push. It doesn't look like Killers want to stop. They're just going to steamroll their way. They immediately get Smiley. SWO was caught out. Is he going to get back in his spawn? It doesn't matter one way or the other because Killers just rush last point, and there we go. They're suddenly up 1-4.
Yeah, they've really taken control of this match, and it just seems like they're very good at punishing Kratos. Whenever they push forward, they just kind of hold back. They milk Uber really well, and then they can just re-push in, and they're very good at cleaning up. So, you know, I think Justice4Kratus, they need to rethink their strategies here for kind of engaging fights. I think we can take it more slowly here. So we've got a bunch of soldiers in this battle.
They have to take it slowly, but also they have to take it in a way where they win about a round every 2 minutes. And with a mid-fight like that, with Smiley and Hong absolutely pounding, I mean, you know, talk about needing to make a quick comeback. That is exactly how you get yourself onto the right footing. You wipe the enemy team without losing a single player on your own squad. Mid. So yeah, absolutely perfect mid. We will see the 6-man respawn coming up. Ban desperately moving over to Sniper to try to do anything. Never is onto the point here. They've got it about 50% cap. Bio and Hero will go down. We will see a bit of resistance, but surely there's nothing Killers can do here. They're just kind of ticking down the clock. Van trying to get some practice. He will get SWW, and suddenly things might look a bit shaky, but no. Almost immediately after, things were looking absolutely dreadful for Justice4Kratus. They take about as quick a round as you can possibly get on Granary, and with 6 minutes left, they're down only 4-2 now.
Yeah, that was exactly what they needed, and Granary is one of these maps where if you win the mid-fight really well, with the enemy medic dying, then yeah, it's very easy to actually push in onto last, and it's very difficult for them to stop them. Yeah, that was an extreme example of that. So all of a sudden, they're back in it, only 2 down with 6 minutes remaining.
Oh, but in saying that, Hong, Smiley, and Mega go down almost immediately. Hero will fall, but that's not what you want to see, especially with your demo being the first casualty on the mid. On a mid fight like Granary, where you kind of have all these kind of choke points and angles where demo mans will really thrive with their projectile angles. That's a rough loss, and really there's no onus on Justice for killers to do anything here. I mean, with even Ubers and 5 minutes left on the clock, you know, we saw what happened a few rounds ago where we kind of had this extended stalemate from mid to second where teams just kept trading back and forth for about 5 Ubers in a row. I mean, if you're killers, that's all you want to do right now, just tick off that time. But, I mean, it looks like Kratos know that, and I think they want to be aggressive here by the looks of things.
Yeah, like, the problem is that the last time they did a Scout Uber in very aggressively, they lost out hard, but it's kind of what we're asking them to do again, because they need to make a move at this point. They can't sit back forever. They have about 5 minutes to get it. Sorta jumps in, actually gets the Uber force despite getting an air shot. So great jump in there by Hong, and the Uber, they're going to come in, they're not going to find anything close by, so that was really well played by Hong. Kind of saved that. He was the hero that they needed right now. And we're going to see if, you know, maybe Hero can be the actual hero. Here's now all the blue team are just going to move into this choke. No one sort us in, but Hero actually, he does do exactly what we wanted him to do. He gets the Uber Force out. That's going to slow them down a lot. They're going to be able to capture mid for sure, but the second point, maybe even the yard, that's going to be a lot more difficult to actually make it through.
Yeah, they're kind of in a position where they just kind of have to do something where they commit to a whole team wrap, but no, instead of doing that, they're just going to brute force their way in. Smiley with a fantastic bomb to take down space, so with the demo down, this is exactly what Kratos needed here. Smiley continuing to try to make space for their team. We're able to just get a bit of span here, but Ban is doing a really good job at kind of holding them at bay, and we do see the counter defensive move coming out. They know that they kind of need to clean it out. They will clean up Never, but I don't actually know why that Uber came out. You know, it seems like something with the time that was remaining, you'd really want to hold on to it, but they did get Mega at the end, and with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, it might have just been enough.
Oh, look at this play. They're all hiding behind the box. They're going to shoot around the corner. They have the full Uber advantage, and they're actually going to use it, but the soldiers, they're jumping behind. They're trying the best to delay it, and actually the soldiers going to die to space here with just air pipes and down, and all of a sudden we have the entire team surrounded here, but it actually looks like Ryan doesn't care that he's surrounded. He's just going to shoot at them. Doesn't care what angle they are at. So they're going to get another chance right now to make a quick push. They have 3 minutes. This is very doable. They need to cap within around a minute here in order to be able to have a chance. And they're going to push them out very aggressively.
Mello is on 95% Uber, and it looks like they want to use this to block the point here. They immediately get Mega and then pop the Uber. They get Ryan and will continue to force Kratos back into this choke point. No one's even in a position to go for a back cap. Never tries to come in, but it's him against the world, really. They will take down Mello as Smiley tries to make space there, but it's just not enough. They managed to funnel the entire Kratos really nicely into that choke point, and with 2 minutes 20 seconds remaining, I think that's curtains call for Justice4Kratus on that first map. They made a valiant effort to come back here, but I think it's just out of their reach unless an absolute miracle happened. And God knows, as an Australian, more than anything, I realize that this is a map where excessive comebacks can happen.
Yeah, it's I think you need to be Australian to throw this kind of a lead. Otherwise, I don't think it's possible. Yeah, I mean, if they get it within 30 seconds or 20 seconds or so, it's actually doable.
I think 55 seconds is about what you need for a round. And we will see the crit screen come out, so yeah, they've realized they're in absolute desperation time. You know, you just need to go balls to the wall, you just need to be hyper-aggressive, there's no time for dilly-dallying, you just want to pump out damage, and that's exactly what they're doing, but they need to make this push work perfectly as Hero is up on Spy? Oh, that was to check crit screen, okay, that's what it was.
Oh, perfectly done. He's got it. Oh, what
No, again, the fact that
I trigger finger.
Hero changing to Spy and realizing they were on crit streak there, that allowed them to see the moment that Mega ran around the corner. They just popped preemptively to know that, well, if I pop Uber, there's no way you can drop me. And while they are getting frags here, it's just not enough. They've wasted so much time, and with 50 seconds left on the clock, I think we're at the point now where it is impossible for Kratos to win, even more so now that they're all dead.
Yeah, that doesn't help their case, that's for sure. But that was a very close game. Like 4-2, could have gone any other direction. I feel like it's very close, and that was. All right, I think they're about to talk some trash in chat. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're in a garbage time.
It's actually funny. So far, it's just stupid.
It's biased.
Spam. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, at one point it really kind of, you know, after that first round, I was almost expecting Killers to just take a clean 5-0 with how kind of comfortable they looked on that first round. You know, Kratos did tie the next one up, but immediately after that, Killers took complete ascendancy, and it wasn't until kind of Kratos were able to sort of get their teamwork going together that they kind of looked a bit more stable. But at that point, you know, Killers did enough to just delay them out of winning. And, you know, maybe if that map went for another 5 minutes, we could have seen a result go another way, but, you know, it just wasn't to be, as Killers take Granary, and suddenly they're in an absolutely perfect position to just take the grand final as we move into Snakewater here, which I believe was their own pick.
Yeah, can't remember, but that sounds about right. I think they had the last 2 ones.
No, sorry. It was Justice4Kratus picked the second map and the decider. So that was Killer's map. So it did, you know, that fell the way that you'd expect it to.
Yeah, indeed. So now how it's going to work on Snakewater, it's going to be pretty interesting to see. I kind of thought, like, Hero had a really good soldier game in Yeren as well. And Grano is pretty notorious for being a soldier map, whereas Snakewater is not. Snakewater is a map where you can very easily just get peppered down by Scout as you desperately try to make it into the skybox, but making it into the skybox can be pretty rough. And like, they're going to see you coming the entire time, so you've got your work cut out for you. You can definitely do some stuff on Snakewater. It's not the worst soldier map, but it's up there. And when you have your soldiers be really impactful like we saw there, that could definitely put a damper on it, but at the same time, Bio and Ben were doing some real work, especially Ben, I feel like. Yeah, he went 30 for 12. That's some good stuff right there on Scout.
Yeah, and you're right in the fact that Snakewater, again, in the same vein as Process, it is one of those maps where kind of every class can kind of thrive. You know, it's a staple map that everyone loves for a reason. It really doesn't disadvantage any one class. You know, it's enough room for medics so they don't feel hemmed in and choked out. There's fantastic room for demos to spam and set up traps. Soldiers have fantastic room to go for bombs and to hold choke points, and scouts, you know, we don't even need to touch on scouts because they're a broken class, but again, another discussion. But yeah, I think really the scout combo for Killers impressed me so much. I mean, Ben, it seemed that, from my perspective, especially in a lot of the messy fights, which frankly a lot of the fights on Granary came down to, Ban was the one who was either getting kills early or getting kills late, and they're the prime thing that either sets your team up to be able to, you know, take space, take advantage of heals, or to steamroll in to capture points. Because when Killers were taking rounds, it wasn't kind of they'd take a point, have to delay a while, and take another point. It was normally once they had once they had the midpoint and were able to make that transition from second, they would get last pretty much straight after. And again, it comes from those aggressive moments from players like Ban that kind of allow you to do that without kind of a player capitalizing on their DM seemingly as much as they did. Your team's really not in that advantageous of a position to to steamroll fights, and that is the mark of playing well as a team, which is what you'd expect out of, you know, a grand finalist.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I'm really wondering here is that, well, one of the kind of patterns that I observed was that Justice4Kratus, they would do some really aggressive pushes and Uber trade, and then they would very often be caught in and get counter pushed, and then they would just fold completely and lose last as they were just getting rolled. So on Snakewater, I feel like it's harder to do those kind of trades, but at the same time it's also more difficult to get counter pushed because you can count Ubers, and it's usually easier to get in and out because the choke tend to be wider and you have more room to move about. So maybe that's going to work out better for them, but it's also more difficult for them to initiate them as well. So, you know, I feel like if they can catch out SVV maybe holding a bit too close, then they will actually be able to, you know, perhaps make that tactic work. And yeah, I'm kind of hopeful that this longer map will actually favor their playstyle more. And, you know, it is that map pick, so that would actually make sense. But is there anything that you're going to be looking out for here as we go into the second map?
I really think the mid-fights, again, seeing how comprehensively Killers won almost every single mid-fight we had on that round, barring one of them. Snakewater's a map that's kind of so volatile in how mid-fights can play. You're either really passive or really aggressive. There's no middle ground as we do come into this first round here. So, again, I'm really looking at this first mid-fight to kind of to give me a bit of a gauge about how all the rounds will go out from here, as we will see Space hitting their rollout pretty fantastically, but will get slightly beaten into the point by Megu here. We will see a nice little roamer trade onto the side here as Hong will take out Hero. It gets immediately cleaned up by Ban, but it allows Smiley to come in quite aggressively and take down Melee. So a really good ban there, a pick there as frags go either way. It was so hard to call names there as just suddenly my kill feed was flooded as Megan goes down as well.
That's
11
the entire
HP.
Yeah, that's the only thing that remains for full team is 11 HP. So that was a very close fight. Both soldiers managed to worm their way behind, and they did a lot of work, a lot of aggression on this mid, and neither team were really able to handle it. So at the end of the day, it was just kind of a DM fight, and yeah, 11 HP was the only difference there. So that doesn't get any closer than that, pretty much. But hey, it's still the Killers that win this. No, wait, they've actually changed sides, haven't they?
Yeah, so we Justice4Kratus did take that first mid fight again, as you rightly pointed out, by the absolute skin of their teeth again. I mean, you can't get finer for that. It was, you got to feel bad for Mega there doing a fantastic job, kind of kiting, zoning out. Yeah, we do. But I do believe Hero actually swapped off onto Scout, so they did know the crits were coming. They get Space, they get Yeren, but not before Yeren is able to clean up the medic. So really, all in all, a very nice kiting from the side of Killers there. And I believe I was either Ban or Hero spawned as Spy, which seems to be a common thing for them. So I feel like they know that Justice4Kratus are a team that kind of wants to make these plays, and they came prepared for it.
I love how they get Space worked on so many levels in that sentence. That was pretty good, but they're going to be facing now full disadvantage here. There's a Scout in lower actually threatening to back up, but the second Scout's going to come in here and try and help push him out. There we go, they get Never. And this soldier, he's not going to be able to really do much here there. He was too low, so pretty much a flawless push out right here. This can be very difficult on Snakewater, like clearing out the lower area while also making sure that you clear drop down and making sure nobody like sneaks behind it. That can be very difficult. And SVV, he's on 90% right now, and that's snipe.
Yeah, it gets a very nice snipe to kind of hold an initial push that might be coming in.
The force.
Yeah, fantastic work there from Hong. So, nice little play. Hero gets absolutely mulched in midair. He will force out the Uber, but he got absolutely suspended and wasn't able to get any more space. Smiley comes in with a very aggressive bomb, but Bai is able to shut him out, but not clean up the kill. I don't know why Bai didn't commit there, but in the end, it doesn't matter too much as Megu gets cleaned up by Yeren. So with the demo down, that might allow Killers to re-push out here back onto second. They're kind of starting to regroup, get their heals up as we see. Yeah, it looks like Justice4Kratus know the poor position they're in, so after a really nice push out here onto second, they have to immediately concede.
a very close fight so far. Both medics doing a good job of staying alive. It was a really beautiful serve from Mello to get himself into safety. And now it's going to be pretty much even here. Both teams, they've got everyone up. They've got the Ubers that's basically even, like at 5% advantage. It's not really something you can push off of. So we're setting up for a second stalemate so far. I've kind of noticed that neither team favors playing banners. Granary is probably the best banner map, maybe alongside Gollywash. Snakewater's not as good, but it has worked out before. So it looks like the Soldier's setting up to jump out through this window.
Yeah, and Hong comes in with that aggressive bomb, gets I
Zero
guess a
damage.
Oh, he got a splash rocket onto Mello, but inconsequential, we'll call it.
Sure. Alright, I didn't even see that. It didn't register on my screen to my eyes. That's, yeah. It's some good, both the scout standing in the way, and then the medic also had some fantastic dodging there.
It looked like Smiley was trying to go for a really impressive skip jump, didn't hit it, and then just had to immediately jump back out, unless my screen escaped me. We do see Ban up on the snipe here, as he's kind of, come on and off this off-class every so often. I'm not sure how I feel about the defensive sniper on Snakewater second. I don't think I've really ever seen it. You see heavies hiding in that forward spawn. You see I've even seen Paros, but I don't think I've ever seen the defensive sniper, and I'm not sure.
Oh, Soda's in very aggressively.
Yeah, that's Hong out again. But again, with Ban on sniper, you can't really allow yourself to make that aggressive counter sack back in. You've really kind of forced yourself out into this aggressive position. In saying that, Hero does look like he's going to come in, gets a really nice skip jump onto logs there, but realize he has no eyes on where the enemy is. We'll get one rocket onto SWW, but he kind of just had to waste most of his clip just trying to find out where the hell they were. And again, didn't have support because Ban is still playing sniper. He will get a sideline onto the soldier here.
Third time to charm?
Oh, nope. Hong, in the end, won't even let the opposition team clean him up, just says, no, I'm doing this myself.
Yeah, nobody kills Hong but Hong.
Oh, what?
Oh,
okay, I take back everything I said. Ban has proved me wrong as he completely domes and drops SWW. Okay. Beta, I'm not going to talk anymore because clearly I'm an idiot.
Oh, this second scout. Do you even dare to challenge him? Like, Ban he's just holding on the second hit.
Oh my god.
He's a monster. He's just taking everyone down right now. And that works out. The defensive sniper can be pretty difficult to work, but you do have that really nice sideline from lower, so you can see a lot of mid. Yeah, they need to walk into it, but hey, they poked their head out there and he immediately ripped it off. So good job by Ban. He's going to continue to move forward here. He's going to shut down any sideline. First, someone in spawn, but they have moved back. So at this point, the challenge here is, can they actually move forward? Actually, Hero, he was too far forward there. Gets taken down. Great job by Major. That's going to slow them down. They have this Uber advantage, but it's kind of uncomfortable to use it when they're down a soldier and they're down a scout because he's on sniper. I think they might just end up not using the Uber advantage. It's a bit unfortunate, but that's the problem with sniper right here.
We do see Hero up on Spy. I don't know if he's just checking for off classes. No, yeah, he was just seeing what they have, so they should know that Never is up on Counter Sniper and probably that Ryan is up on Engineer, but again, if you have any game sense in TF2, you probably know that's going to happen. Again, I'm sticking on the ban cam after my unnecessary trash talk. I'm not giving up the opportunity to see what they'll pull out of the bag next, as, we will see a bit of a stalemate here as, it's kind of expected on Snakewater, but again, you do have all these avenues of attack that, I really love the transition into Snakewater last. I think it's probably my favorite in the entire, competitive map pool across any league, and you allow so much creativity as Ban will get a fully charged body shot onto Hong, so Hong's unable to defend himself there, as we will see him continue to rotate back down to lower. We'll get met by Hong. Never's not going to actually assist his soldier there at all, so it allows Ban to make an easy escape here, as we will just see everything reset.
I think maybe we just need to jinx it a bit. So, like, Ban, he got kind of lucky the last time. Like, he's not actually good. I don't know if you have noticed, but he's just getting lucky all the time. Like he just can't really do anything. He's getting real lucky right now as he walks into it. It survives on 1 HP. That's luck. Yeah, definitely.
You can't calculate the damage range of a sentry gun and how the knockback's going to affect you. That is, surviving on one.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit further back, the sentry gun, than we normally see. It's usually a little further forward.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it even covers the drop down properly, so maybe Ben can actually peek through that as well.
But I'm trying to get in myself in the first person sentry view, and it doesn't look like it would work. Hong gets taken out, so again, this should give space, space for Ban to move again. The fact that there's a player space here is completely tripping up my vocabulary here. Yeah, here we go. We do see Never, moving on to the shutter side, so he does know that something's up as Smiley will focus. So again, we're just going to rotate. But all of this kind of really works in the favor of Killers. They took a very clean lead going in early, and, they're just going to maintain the status quo here.
At the moment, it's just kind of the bencher where they're just waiting for him to make it work. They have about 7 minutes to work with. If you've ever played T2, you know that is just about an eternity. And you'll never run out of time. We actually have the double soldier spam here from bottom trying to take down the sentry gun. The goal right now is to take down sentry gun so they can send in the soldiers. Smiley actually going to try to counterattack. I think he thought he had figured out where the medic was. But
Ban, as soon as Hong was getting aggressive there, Ban immediately domed him and forced him back into spawn. So the instant it looked like a counter jump was going to come out, Ban again is proving his worth his weight in gold on Sniper here. Doing a line, it actually gets a pretty good angle on, or had a chance to get a decent angle onto Megu, but that one lone sticky that apparently it takes 5 players on Killers to shoot down will stop him. We do see a very aggressive jump coming up from Hong, who will get banned. Finally, he's claimed that frag after about 3. Yeah, really nice play in from Smiley. It looks like that'll allow Never to be really aggressively into this lower area, but realizes he's getting spammed out by space. So it seems like things are going to reset. A really good bomb coming in from Smiley. A good bomb in the sense that it should have been good if he hit a single rocket, which he really wasn't able to do.
Yeah, it's kind of shifty. He was kind of forced to do a bunch of prediction rockets right there, and that didn't work out. Look like they're going to try to spam the sentry gun again.
There we go.
This is where actually, yeah, it's once again it was a little farther back than normal, and Sword's going to come in, and he does get it out there. The Uber force has been happening, and here he actually escapes. There's a scout on the point as well. There's just an Uber fight, but the Uber definitely favors the attacking team right now.
Yeah, we do see Hero coming in really late. He gets Never, he gets SWW, a really fantastic bomb. He continues to try to jump back to his combo. He will eventually die, but I think that life could not have been better. Ban will get taken out by Smiley, but Space gets a nice bump onto Ryan. Oh, a fantastic clean from Smiley. Tries to finish it up, but it will be Space getting that first capture point for the side of Killers. So I'm making Hero my my victor of that round. I think his little play onto that last point there was what won them the round.
Yeah, it was really good. Let's see if what happens on this mid. Last time around, we saw soldiers jumping into PC and behind on the Hero. Yep, he's doing that immediately. Time around, but the red team so far, they have not jumped anyone in Hero. He's just kind of waiting out there. Yeah, heavy here. And now the soldiers in behind, and nobody spotted him. He's just going to get the rockets on the medic.
The one thing you hope to get out of a mid-fight when you bring a heavy is defending your medic from bombing soldiers. Doesn't work the soldiers coming in your blind spot, and I've never seen a heavy get pulled out that early on a Snakewater mid-fight. Ever. Like,
yeah, he also had
I'm even talking about in pugs, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it was also a weird positioning. Oh, no. Smiley gets destroyed there by a soldier.
We won't talk about that.
No, nobody saw that. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure Wiethoofd is a bad observer and he didn't see it. It's fine. Nobody saw it, dude. It's fine. But the Uber is now coming in, and they've caught out the demo man, and that's a really good shot. Soldier's going to be in the skybox here, but he's just taken down right now. They're going to force him in here with all this cap time, and yeah, that's going to be that.
So
quick round.
After a let's call it an unconventional mid-fight from Justice4Kratus, I mean, they played well in that first round. It was really a few fights that didn't quite go their way that allowed them, that cost them the round in the end, but they looked lost at sea in that last round here, and they really need to start regrouping because, they're in danger of Killers getting on a roll here and just steamrolling here, and Hong being the first casualty is not what you want. Hero will get taken down. SWW does go down there. We see frags going back and forth, as we can see Never and his scout partner Ryan try to be aggressive across point, but Bio manages to clean up that 2k on a slither of health. And we do see another mid-fight going the way of Killers, and I mean, that was absolutely fantastic.
That was all Bio, man. He just cleaned up so well. That was a 4K on that mid, and like at the very end of it, it was just 2 scouts against 2 scouts and a medic, and obviously that favors the medic pair. So that goes without saying. Sword is actually going to come into the skybox. Didn't quite time it right there. Hong, you know, tried to time it out so that he would get the medic perfectly right there, but didn't quite manage to get his Mellow. He's on the full Uber advantage still. They're going to need to cap second and then push in here until last without losing Uber advantage. That can be pretty difficult, but they're actually doing a pretty good job of it, and looks like they're going to go into lower.
Yeah, Band's being very aggressive leading his team forward. Smiley will come in from behind with a bomb, so he's able to turn a few heads, but it doesn't matter if this Uber comes out, they get Never. Smiley will go down. SWW does get the counter pop with a cleanup hero pretty early, but the rest of Killers has managed to scatter really well. Space, I don't know what he was thinking. Launches himself up onto the high ground there, but actually manages to survive and gets an arrow from his medic, which just causes enough distraction for Killers to come in and get their 3rd round. And 15 minutes left on the clock. I mean, Kratus really need to turn themselves around. They need to come into this mid-fight with a plan, and they just need to make themselves settled, because, I mean, they're frankly at, you know, the precipice of completely bowing out of the grand final here.
Yeah, and this is the map pick as well. Heroes once again has gone behind, so, you know, this has worked out for them before. Looks like Hong's going to just be in super deep as well. He's still not dead. Going to create a ton of space, but that might be enough. Hero has now made his way in here. Going to come in behind. Hasn't quite managed to get the impact that he probably wanted. So we do have a pause here on this mid, as we have a pretty interesting situation going on, as everyone from from red. Look at this red kitchen where everyone's just hiding in there. That's pretty rare to see the medic in there with like a soldier and a scout. That's pretty weird, but they're in a bad situation, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what. Again, I was more focused on what the soldier duo for Killers were doing it. That I didn't really see why SWW and Smiley rotated their way into PC there. I can't see them getting out of this. I can't see SWW surviving with his life, especially in the position Bio is in, with Yeren coming in with this bomb here. I mean, Hero and Ben are currently, you know, facing Ryan, but he's on such low health that it won't take much for them to turn their attention around. So, again, I think there's going to be the 4th mid-fight in a row for Killers, and I think it's, you know, if this is anything to go by, you know, Mellow will survive with ease, and it's going to steamroll into a last point, and suddenly, out of nowhere, we'll be 4-0 up. I really haven't seen Kratus doing anything on this mid-fight that's impressed me. It seems like they're just approaching this one by one. It seems like players feed when they want to. They're not playing around heals. They're not playing off damage. They're not playing off space. They're just playing kind of, again, not to call anyone out, but they're playing selfishly. They're playing, I want to get a frag, so I'm just going to run in. And when you run in one by one against a team that's kind of playing as a blob and playing with solid DM, you're just cannon fodder.
Indeed. Like, Hong is in very early on, but there's no one that's really pushing across the point with him. You kind of want to time that a lot better. And also, they're allowing Hero to get behind every time, which can be fine, right? Like, Hero, he goes, like, really far behind. So, usually the answer to is, like, either you stop him and you kind of focus him down, but actually we're live again as Sword and Scout go down. So, all of a sudden, it's just only the medic and the soldier is, where the hell is he? Is he next to him?
It's just next to them, kind of clipping through the wall there.
Oh, he's invisible on my screen for some reason. All right, that doesn't help me at all. Okay.
I do love the current vista of Bio and Ben. It looks like they're just gazing up at this floating ammo pack just next to door there.
Wow, yeah.
It's quite hypnotic. Mellow just, again, I don't think Mellow even moved in that pause. There we go. We will see that on pause coming out, and things really aren't looking good. We see that aggressive play coming in. Smiley is actually able to hold things off by now, but he's on such little health that Hero will come and clean it up. And there we go. The killbind comes out as SWW is not letting anyone pad their strange weapons there. As I mean, if you're Justice4Kratus, you really need to make something happen here. You need to put up the best defense that you probably had as a team.
Yeah, Megu's gonna do his damnedest to actually get out of here alive. Looks like he will succeed in that. So he got a assaulter kill, which is pretty nice. But it's still a full Uber advantage right now for killers, and I don't think we're at the point yet where they're even thinking about like playing it safe and slowing things down. When you have a big Uber advantage, you might as well use it here going into last. There's plenty of time remaining, and looks like they're going to go in through the left side. That's pretty unusual, but they're going for it.
And again, there's such confidence that they're not even concerned about using Uber. You know, a lot of them concerned right now about losing their players, as we do see the Uber comes out, and actually they will not really get any frag. Jaren and Smiley will do the classic Roma trade. Overall, a pretty disastrous Uber. They moved in so nonchalantly on the left-hand side there that they kind of forgot that, you know, they had to take space. And saying that, you know, this post-Uber fade, they will come out, and suddenly out of nowhere, they make me eat my words, and after having about as passive as a last push as you could possibly imagine, it takes them about a split second to kind of flip the switch and instantly cap the point, and suddenly, you know, we're at match point here.
Yeah, it wasn't a very pretty push. They moved in through the left side, and that usually is very difficult to actually get to them. Hero's going to try to go behind here again, but this time around there's a soldier waiting for him, but he's actually going to win that with the help of a scout. So now Smiley gets taken down as well, so the killers, they are on the warpath right now. They're just creating a trail of tears as they're just moving forward and killing everyone in their path.
I mean, the only advantage, the only positive I can say for that, for Justice4Kratus, is they finally learned that they lost a player early. They were in a shit position, so they backed out. So they didn't keep, you know, just hemorrhaging their lives. And that's really the only positive I can pull out of that, because I mean, that this is pretty dire. I came into this map with such high hopes that after, you know, they weren't stunning on Granary, but they did alright. And again, this was their map pick, and they did beat killers on this in their previous final where they met. So I was really, you know, hoping this would go free. Okay, is this a disrespect play? I feel like...
Oh, counter espionage.
We do see the double spy play. Okay, Hero's just gonna... He's not even gonna go for the cap. If Hero just went for the cap, he could have just gone for the cap. But instead he goes... I feel like they're just toying with him. He's surviving as well. Hero, you madman, I love you. He doesn't... Here... He gets out! He's gonna get mega... No... Oh, okay. But again, I feel like Hero just could have won that round, as we do see Hong almost creeping up there. Bio's again apparently blind. Bio, please move. No,
I mean they know, because the you know, their spy saw this.
They keep bumping into him but not noticing him. I don't know how this is happening. Okay, finally
he's going. He's going.
The frame that he uncloaked, Mello turned around. Like I swear it was the exact frame.
Like Bio was so close to actually just like shooting him when he was cloaked. It's always one of those like, oh my god, he must be hacking. It's actually Darren's going to get taken down. Soldier's going to go out very aggressively for a counter sack, but he gets taken down. Smiley, he tried his best. There were just too many people in that doorway just cramming it. And there's even a pyro on the field right now for the defending team, so they're playing it really safe. I obviously can't jump people with a pyro.
Snakewood is like the worst map for pyro. I want to say maybe worse. You know, maybe this. No, I feel like Snakewater Lost might be the worst map for pyro with just how open it is. I don't get why you just play engineer and get a sentry gun if you want to deny soldiers, as we will see Smiley getting taken down. So again, I mean, Justice4Kratus, they need to make something happen.
Gets a nice rocket onto. Look at that surf there from SWW. SWW has actually really impressed me with his movement. He keeps getting amazing surfs and making it out of situations where it looks like he's going to die.
But again, we will see something, not immediately that push will get shut down, and Jaren will clean up Ryan super aggressively. As the Uber comes out, again, I don't know why you do that. I know you're in a desperate play here, but you've really push yourself into a corner. And speaking about pushing yourself into a corner, you've let your medic outfit dry. SWW gets caught out, and surely there's no coming back from this. We see Yeren and Hero being really aggressive. Bio makes space for his team. Smiley doing what they can, and they will get Yeren, but not for Bio, and Hero just go to absolute town. Never goes down, and it looks like Ryan will go down as well. There we go. Nick Gears Killers have won AsiaFortress Cup 16 Division 2 Grand Final with a 5-0 win on Snakewater and a 4-2 win on Granary over Justice4Kratus. Congratulations to the Killers.
Big congratulations. They looked a little shaky in the beginning, but once they got going, there was just no stopping the train. They just moved in and took some lives, and that's that. Really great job by them. Played really well here on the second map. Like dominant fashion, really. It's kind of weird that they seem to struggle on their own map pick, and then as soon as they got to the enemy map pick, it went a lot better. But yeah, they were just really good. It seemed like they just figured out Justice4Kratus. They were still doing the aggressive pushes, and then the medic was getting caught into the push. You know, I managed to just compliment SWW, and then he got caught in really badly. So you know, that's how it goes.
Yeah, and again, I like basically as the match was starting, I said the thing that I was really curious about how it was going to play out with the mid fights, and the mid fights were the story of that map. Justice4Kratus completely got blown out of the water in that regard. Like it didn't even look like they came into it with a plan. You know, there wasn't cohesion with how they were taking space or pushing as a unit, and it just resulted into them, frankly, aside from that last round, getting humiliated on mid fights. You know, I believe they won that first mid fight where Never survived on 11 HP, where everyone died. But after that, yep. I mean, you know, that was such a mess that, I mean, you don't even give them the credit of that one. You just say, okay, you got out of it. You know, you get a pass mark, but no more than that. And after that, I mean, it was fails across the board, and the Killers were the way they capitalized on their aggression was fantastic. That, you know, whether it was Hero or Ban or Bio making those plays and making space for the team, that it was basically just a snowball effect where they really didn't ever allow Justice4Kratus to get settled. It was they were constantly waiting for someone to get respawned. You know, they were constantly had about half their team on low health. They were never able to kind of be as a unit in a good place, and that really kind of unsettles you. And when you lose round after round, it really gets in your head, and that's kind of what leads to a 5-0 sweep.
Yeah, 9 deaths is what Mellow, Bio, and Ban had combined.
Oh.
Yeah, Mello had 1 death. He just stayed alive forever in this game. He just could not be stopped. We just saw Hong jumping in over and over and over again, and he went 5 for 20. He didn't get many medic kills, so I don't feel... obviously not, he only did 1. But yeah, that was kind of rough to watch. And, you know, if you're already in the back foot because you're losing mids, then it can be very difficult to come back. And they had a few successful push-outs, but at some point it seemed like they just overextended and got a bad fight, and then they were too far in to be able to escape safely, and then they got rolled and lost last. So, yeah, the Killers, they got real real brutal at the end there, just punishing every single little mistake.
Yeah, and, you know, with that, again, that wraps up Division 2 for AsiaFortress 16, and I believe Div 1 has already had their finals, so I think that's just Div 3 left to play, as far as I'm aware. So AsiaFortress 16 is really coming to a close, and, you know, it was really fun to be able to cast a grand final with you, Beto. Again, coming into this, both of us fresh, both of us not knowing any of the players, either of the teams, kind of coming into this blind. It was a really enjoyable experience. You know, I hope everyone had a great time. Granary was a really great back and forth map. Snakewater was entertaining for its own reasons, but, you know, again, I just want to say congratulations to the Nick Gears Killers for their win here.
Yeah, get a better team name.
Please.
And
I don't want to say that
in the
again.
future. Yeah. God damn. All right. Yeah, you pretty much summed it up perfectly there. Very enjoyable, fun experience to watch these players for the first time. And hopefully not the last. I want to see more of these guys. Is Ban just a flash in the pan? Or will he actually stick around and become one of the best people ever? You never know.
You never know.
But I think we should probably just wrap it up. I guess... no, I don't think I had anything I need to plug. I don't think we're doing interviews either.
I guess,
right.
yeah, I guess, I will have something to plug. AsiaFortress Season 28 is underway. This is the biggest season AsiaFortress has ever had. I can't remember if it's 52 or 53 teams signed up, which smashes our record. We have a 3,000 K prize pot for Prem based off of Patreon donators, as well as a couple of people who have done monetary donations themselves to increase the pot. So, this really is the biggest season AsiaFortress has ever had, and we here at TF Live are going to continue bringing you that action down under. We're going to try to bring you as many games as we can. It'll be week 2 of Prem next coming up, and we hopefully are able to bring you some high matches as well, which is the new division we brought in above intermediate again to accommodate all these extra teams we had. So be sure to keep an eye on that, as there will be a lot more TF2 coming to you from this side of the globe coming up from TF Live.
Yeah, that's a fat season for sure. It's going to be really interesting to see. There's like 3 or 4 teams that can all compete to win it. I really love how all the good players are kind of spread out among a bunch of really good teams. It's really fun. So, yeah, I've been watching a bunch of AsiaFortress. I think I'm just going to skip out on RGL for the most part in the season. I'm just going to watch AsiaFortress instead. That sounds like a good time to me. All the seasons are just about to start. EFL should have been going, but their site exploded. So
yeah,
they got delayed a bit. So, watch some AsiaFortress while you wait, even if you're into ETF12, because it's good TF2. And I'm really excited to get into watching a bunch of TF2 again. I think every off season, I just kind of ignore TF2 for a while, because it's just good to not give a shit about TF2 for a solid month every once in a while. It's just refreshes your brain and gets you hyped for the next season. And so far it's really been delivering. There's been a bunch of really good games, and there's going to be a bunch more. So stay tuned on TF Live for that. And then obviously, TFTV are also going to stream all the other leagues. So, I think that's going to be that. I'm going to say thank you guys for watching so much. Whatever time it is, we have European production and Australians casting Asian TF2. It's good times, always fun. It was a pleasure, Fozz, and we got to see some pretty good TF2, and we got to see some noobs get the ever-living daylight smacked out of them. So we got everything we could ever want in TF2. From me, Wiethoofd, and Foz, thank you guys for watching so much, and have a good night.